Are you ready? Brock here. Brock's ready. Seth Rollins is back. Johnny Knoxville. SmackDown review. Boom. 7th of January. Let's go, Chief.
I feel like a jackass for watching this shit, but yeah, Johnny Knoxville was on the show, and I mean, I think Johnny Knoxville in wrestling's something you'd expect. I mean, it was cool when, you know, he had Steve-O and the other guy against Umaga. That was like back in 2006. I mean, this is 2021. Jackass is
2022.
2022. Jackass is dead. Johnny Knoxville looks like Megan Rapinoe.
Yeah, fuck, he does, doesn't he?
You know, nothing to see here, guys. He's a big lefty bastard.
Is he?
Aye, and well, look at the stadium. How could he not be?
Yeah, that's true.
So let's run through the show then. We start it off with
Big dog.
Roman Reigns in the ring. Says that a lot can happen in a week of isolation. He's had a lot of time to think. But there's a lot of people he wants to see. But there's two people he never wants to see again. That's Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. I think he referred to Paul Heyman as trash or snake or something along those lines. And then, speak of the devil, Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman. I mean, people mark out about Roman Reigns' promos and stuff. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the ring. Then he takes about 10 minutes to deliver one sentence. Everything is slow fucking pace.
It's not that good.
I remember like we're watching old Raw, and like the start of Raw was always like boom boom, fucking no McMahon comes out, no Chet Austin comes out, dun 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 dun. You know, it's not fast paced now. It's dun 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 dun. Acknowledge me. I mean, what? I'm not. That's like COVID saying, look, Jimmy, you're fucked at the moment. Acknowledge me. And I'm like, no, I'll never acknowledge you, COVID. Right? I will beat you or die trying. But anyway, right, Brock Lesnar comes out. What happens after this?
Brock Lesnar basically goes, the reigning and defending WWE Champion of the World, Brock Lesnar.
So it looks like Lesnar was kind of sick. Lesnar, I think, was sick and tired of Heyman speaking for him. Just like we're sick and tired of hearing it for years. He does the whole intro by himself.
We don't need Heyman.
Yeah, then he
This
mocks.
makes Heyman the fucking GM.
He mocks Heyman. He mocks Reigns. Sorry, tells Reigns to acknowledge him. Challenges Reigns to a title versus title match. Reigns says it's a good idea, but it's not his idea. And since this is his show, it's not happening. So basically, you know, Reigns not looking like a shite bag, but essentially being a shite bag.
How about, right, they just have fucking Heyman fuck off for Brock, and Heyman can become the SmackDown GM, and he can torment Reigns up to Mania. Because there's fuck else on SmackDown. You know what I mean?
Yep, that was nothing. Reigns takes another dig at Heyman. Heyman's like, how can you speak to me like that? I loved you and all this stuff. You're a champ because of me. I pulled the strings. Brock kind of is taken back by Heyman saying he loves Reigns. Brock tells Heyman to shut up. And then Roman Reigns says to Brock, don't speak to him like that. And then Brock goes up to Roman Reigns and says, what? Or what? And then Heyman turns around to Brock and says, don't speak to Reigns like that. I mean, what?
I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
It was fucking weird.
Brock Lesnar carrying it yet again.
Yeah.
Surrounded by bums.
Then Brock seems to get distracted by Heyman, and Reigns uses this as an opportunity to hit the Superman punch. Leaves the ring, his music plays, he says he's the man and all that stuff, points a finger in the air, holds his belt, walks out. And that's that's pretty much the end of the Brock Lesnar Reigns stuff for this show.
But see, is that going to be the end yet? Because what else? Where else can this go?
Well, I doubt Brock Lesnar will be on SmackDown again next week. Like he's working too many shows here. He needs about 10 years
Probably
off.
won't even be on fucking Raw.
No. So next Raw will probably be on the one before the Rumble.
Yeah.
So
who knows, guys? Anyway, next up, Sami Zayn walking backstage meets Johnny Knoxville. He wants to enter the Rumble citizen and says, "What? I'm the elder statesman. You have to." He gets beat by Boogs. Out comes Johnny Knoxville, throws him over the top rope. Then Greg Hamilton, that fucking jobber, says he's now qualified for the Royal Rumble match, and that's how easy it is. So you know what? Any fucking jobber, see if you're a bum backstage and you haven't been announced yet, just come out and throw somebody over the top rope, and you might just get announced to the match.
you don't need to be backstage. You can be a fan. You can just jump the barricades, chuck over Sami Zayn.
See Chris Benoit, see if he wants that number 31 spot that he's going to come back and return one day that I'm desperately hanging on to. He's just going to come back the night
Keyword
before.
hanging,
brother. Johnny Knoxville in the Rumble. What do you make of this?
Like I said, I mean it's about 15 years too late. I don't want to see Johnny Knoxville in it. It's a shambles.
Nope.
Nothing good will come from this. Again, like I said, if it happened when Jackass was actually in its prime and going well, then fair enough. But I don't see what value Johnny Knoxville adds to a Royal Rumble. I mean, I really don't.
No.
You'd be better off trying to get someone who's actually in the spot. What about Antonio Brown, who walked out on the Chiefs?
I know.
Or the Bucks even?
The Bucks.
Would it not make a bit more sense to try? I mean, just getting Johnny Knoxville just seems like a desperate attempt to try and add a bit of a name value to the Royal Rumble. And I don't think Johnny Knoxville has any name value in 2022. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's the worst people they could have got, of course. At least we've heard of Johnny Knoxville. At least we know who he is, but it's hardly worth getting excited about. Let's put it that way. Anyway, up next we had
Charlotte Flair announcing that someone pretty important is entering the Royal Rumble, and it is
Herself.
Herself is entering the Royal Rumble. Oh, we are champing at the bit to see this.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. I'm tired of being Agent 347. Yes, it's piss. She takes on Naomi in a match that no one gives two fucks about because Sonya Deville's a shite bag. What happened at the end of this match, Chief?
Yeah, so they have a match. It's a sloppy match. Sonya Deville's at ringside. I honestly don't see where the Deville Naomi feud's going to. Surely they ain't dragging this out to Mania, and they're going to have them fight at Mania. Just nobody cares enough about it. Like, it should have been done by now. I mean, who really wants to see Naomi versus Sonya Deville at Mania? I certainly don't. No. But yeah, end of the match came. I mean, Charlotte Flair went for the moonsault, lands on her feet, and then does another moonsault because, like, Naomi rolls out the way. And it just... She done this last week. It looked really fake. And she's done it again this week, and it looked really fake. She's just not that good. She's trying to pull off all these maneuvers. You know, she's trying to be athletic. She's trying to wrestle like one of the guys, but you're not. So why don't you just do what you're good at?
That sloppy piss wrestling.
Yeah, she wins with like a maneuver off the top rope, then hits the natural selection, and as soon as the match is over, Sonya Deville announces Naomi as the loser and Charlotte Flair as the winner. I mean, I can understand why she's entering the Rumble, because there's literally fucking no one on SmackDown to go against her. I mean, you look at the options and where are they? Absolutely nowhere. So...
Tony Storm released.
Yeah, I mean, and who else is on SmackDown? I mean, who is it? Who have we got?
I don't know.
Is Sasha Banks on SmackDown?
I don't fucking know. Bailey's out. Is it a fucking mess, this shit show? What else happened next? We had fucking... Oh, we had Bobcat Moss, what the fuck his name is, impersonating Drew
Madcap
McIntyre.
Moss came out as McIntyre. He got the most, common, stereotypical Scottish things in. The haggis, the Loch Ness Monster.
And his kilt.
I mean...
It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to try and defend it, like, but...
No. McMahon thinks this is great and he needs fucking shot.
Well, if they're going with the fact that... I think they might be going with the fact that it's awful.
No, but I think McMahon thinks it's great.
McMahon might think it's great, but everyone else thinks it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Sure, all Pat McAfee does is bury this shit whenever it's on, so... And he's a heel.
Yeah.
Well, heelish. And Corbin's a heel, and Madcap Moss is a heel, and he buries them every time they're on telly, so... I think this sucks. When we move on, Madcap Moss, I think, beat somebody in a match. Yeah, they beat the Viking Raiders. I mean, who really gives a shit?
Who gives a fuck is right. And then I believe it was main event time.
Aye.
We had the Usos taking on the New Day in a street fight. I mean, it probably wasn't the worst street fight of the week, personally, because Eddie Kingston was in one. And the Usos win with a 3D or a 1D through a table. Why the copying the Dudleys? We don't know. This just wasn't that fucking good, was it?
This was pretty much a full strength SmackDown card minus Drew McIntyre.
I know. And
that worries me, because...
Like, and that's like they say. They're like, oh, Reigns is back. He's medically cleared to compete and be on SmackDown tonight. What was he in, apart from the opening segment? And after this match, someone rapped his door, and it was Seth Rollins who laughed at him.
And that was it. That's how the show ended. Maybe Seth Rollins was laughing at how bad SmackDown was.
He was laughing, oh fuck, this is finally over.
Yep, I don't know. Wasn't good. Thoughts on the final rating?
Oh fuck! It wasn't good. It really wasn't good. I mean,
But they have to. Seth Rollins turns up there, assumingly wanting a title shot, because there's just no one on. Who is there on SmackDown? I remember reading an article, and they were on about people that couldn't be full-time main eventers, but you could push them in a role so that they could headline a couple of pay-per-views. And the list was, I cannot fucking believe this, the list was Cesaro, Mansoor, and how could you push Mansoor to have a program with Reigns?
I know.
How's Mansoor versus Reigns acceptable? I don't care if it's the fucking worst D-type pay-per-view ever. That's not even on pay-per-view. Mansoor could never... Unreal. Cesaro...
Bash at the beheading.
Cesaro,
Beheading at the beach.
I mean, how
Whatever the fuck you want to call
how
it.
backwards has Cesaro went? Like, literally ever since he lost to Reigns in that title match.
I know.
I mean, he didn't even like slowly drop back into the mid-card scene. He was just there, and then the next minute, fucking
There.
gone. I mean, you've got Sheamus on SmackDown, but he's a heel. I don't know. What do? They move Seth Rollins over, who's also a heel. I think they fucked up SmackDown on the draft. Maybe they had plans for Jeff Hardy to be a main eventer. Who knows? Who knows? But I don't know. I think they probably had Brock versus Reigns planned for Mania. They probably had thought maybe they could do McIntyre Reigns, but now they can't really do either of them. And you've got to wonder, maybe sticking Brock in that Raw match wasn't the best idea in terms of the booking.
Fucking mess.
You know? So that's what it is.
And on that note, guys, that'll do it for your SmackDown review. Rating out of 10, what are you giving it?
I mean, I like the opening segment, but nothing else was good apart from that.
But you say you liked the opening segment. It made
But
no
then it was
fucking
pretty
sense.
pish. I'll give it a 1.
Yeah, I'll give it a fucking 1. In fact, like, I mean, yeah, it was pish. Till next time, Johnny Knoxville, and go fuck himself.